What's up? Thanks for coming back through. Appreciate you, as always. First off, I apologize getting over a little gunk, so I know I sound a little funny. Bear with me, please. We've been speculating about this one for a while, wondering how it would take shape, what the form would be. There's been lots of samples that were floating about. There still might come a time for those, but this particular iteration I have seen, and I'm glad to finally have it. Let's get into the Adidas ULTRABOOST Light, aka the ULTRABOOST 23. Now this color is coming across mad crazy. So I don't even really know if you could understand the actual color that you're seeing. This is wild. And I had to actually dim my lighting so that I could get it on video because this thing is blowing out the filters. Solar red. Now we have lots to talk about this particular shoe because its designation is the ULTRABOOST Light. Now, it's being called that because it is said to be 30% lighter than the ULTRABOOST 21-22 models, which, judging from the in hand, I can tell you is a very real thing. This shoe is feather light compared to its previous predecessor, but a predecessor is your previous. Never mind. And for many ULTRABOOST lovers like me, obviously, we've been waiting for something that would lighten the load a bit. I hesitated to move away from the ULTRABOOST because of the history that I've had with it. It's been a very, very good shoe, but it did get heavy. Boost was an older material. It led the charge, but it was time for an update. And with things like Light Strike and other things that had come out, this had become a brick. Good for walking and standing, but not necessarily for training. So we're going to be referencing this one a lot as we talk about the new 23 because the features that were changed are a one-to-one comparison to the previous model. So, as always, upper midsole, outsole. First, let's start by talking about some of the features. They're saying that this shoe is 30% lighter with 4% more energy return. 4% could be a negligible amount of return, but if they made it lighter even with the same energy return, I think that would be a win because people love this shoe. The ULTRABOOST is a tested silhouette as much as a Jordan 1 or any other shoe from any other brand. It has become ubiquitous with the three stripes. It is the shoe that the three stripes made. This was the pinnacle for them. Of course, they continue to innovate, but nothing will be as pervasive as this in terms of performance and social fashion capital. Like, it was just the shoe for a while. Well, if you made it lighter and brought back some of the running pedigree, I could see how this one would ascend back to the top of the heap because more people are going to wear a shoe like this than are going to wear anything prime, anything marathon, anything with the energy rods. Like, those aren't democratic shoes. Those shoes are very specific. These shoes, the ULTRABOOST line, is the tried and true. So let's get into some of those features. First off, the upper. They're saying that the Prime Knit upper is now a little bit different. I think it's called Prime Knit Pro, and I will admit it is a bit stiffer. Getting into and out of the shoe at the collar is a little bit stiffer. The Prime Knit has a little less flex and a lot more structure. I'm sure it will soften. These are brand new. The styling is very similar. So if you were looking for a massive amount of design change, that's not going to happen. The design language is all there. The design language is still there the same. a few cosmetic differences, but you still have the big heel portion and the slimmer toe portion. Your overall silhouette is still very bullet-like, still very an athletic shape. So at glance, you're not necessarily getting this groundbreaking design, but the functionality goes way up. I heard one of the Adidas reps say that they kept things that were ultimately Ultra Boost as a brand to not have people move away from it. So you're still working with your cage. You're still working with the overall silhouette. You're still working with that sort of, whale tail collar there at the pull tab. So you're still working with a lot of the elements that were still there on previous models of the 21 and 22. However, there's more than a few things that were different. The way that they structured around the toe, similar but different, more structure. You can see how the cage, and these are 1-to-1, same size, size 12. The cage comes down a little more over the toe, perhaps a little bit more support, maybe. But all in all, a very similar silhouette. We've got some padding and some sewing around that collar that was not there previously. That was more just a sort of stitched edge with the knit, or a knitted edge. It didn't have any kind of wrapped padding. Here you can see a noticeable wrap from the heel counter area, making for some better lockdown. So now let's move to the midsole, because that's what you really want to know about. It's lighter. That Ultra Boost Light has the same look, but a different feel. The squish factor is not as much right out of the box. It's a little stiffer. It's not as plush right away. But I anticipate that would break in a bit. All Ultra Boosts have a break-in time. But I will say there is much more to this Light Boost than meets the eye. Light Boost seems to be made of slightly larger pieces of Boost. Perhaps the pellets that they use to fuse together are made of a different compound, but also of a different shape and size. Because there really does seem to be a little bit different structure when you're stepping on it. I don't know what I can attribute that to. And it could come from the outsole, which we'll get into. This had a different platform. This seems more specific. But I can definitely tell you that Light Boost is a different compound, and it has a slightly different feel. That will take some getting used to. This is going to take a little more break-in time than I had previously known the Ultra Boost to have. That was one of the cool things about Ultra Boost, is right out of the box, you got this plushness that you don't even get from a Zoom X or from a Light Strike Pro. Those are squishy. I can't do, and a lot of people I know cannot do squishy shoes. This Ultra Boost had always had a stout finish to the step. That's a good way to put it. This one has the same, but a little more rigidity to that step. It's not overtly as plush right out of the box, but it's good. I mean, in mere hours, I had mine loosened up and it was feeling a lot better. Well, they have a redesigned LEP system. So the linear energy push, or any other acronym that people were coming up with, it extends further up to the toe. And you can see that there as it rounds that toe piece, where this one stopped at the ball of the foot, extending down past the arch, slightly into the midfoot. This one doing the same, but in a different construction. Continental rubber all the way around. Beautiful, good traction. Again, similar hits, midpoint, outside tractioning on the inner and outer part of the foot. The Ultra Boost Light, or the Light Boost, or the Ultra Boost 23 Light, Ultra Boost 23, Ultra Boost Light, all of those, is a slightly wider shoe. In terms of its step, in terms of its actual footprint, it is a slightly wider shoe. Whereas the 21 and 22 narrowed more toward the arch with that sort of teardrop look toward the heel. The Ultra Boost 23 seems to be on rails. So you can see that there, where there's this sort of two-channeled rail pattern running up the shoe on its outsides, leaving a sort of concave shape in the middle, an open space, an open channel, if you will. That is very, very unique, and I found it pretty nice in terms of transition. You're talking about a 10 millimeter drop, I believe, so similar, if not the exact same as the previous Ultra Boost. You're actually sitting way down in it. So like as I reach in, I am below the foam there. I'm right about where that Light Boost logo starts. So you're actually sitting quite deep into this shoe. On the old Ultra Boost, you would sit not as deep, and then you were equal on the heel strike. So you're not down in, you're just below or even to that cage there. On the new Ultra Boost 23, you are well below that cage, down into the cup of that heel counter, and down into the sole. I don't know that you feel that visually. You look like you're up on that heel, but you're really down into it. Makes it stable. But I could probably use a little more midfoot cushioning. Now this one is a traditional wedge, straight shot from heel to toe. It's not a rocker geometry. It's a wedge, which, if you like that, cool. If it doesn't work for you, you know, you're probably already out of the Ultra Boost line, because they've always been a traditional wedge heel to toe. But this is a fantastic shoe. There's multiple colorways. Obviously, I chose the solar red, which is blowing out every filter I have. It's crazy, but I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it to pieces. May or may not swap some laces just on the cosmetic look. And I do plan on, you know, getting more versions of this shoe. There's some great colorways that are planned. There's some that are out right now. Should be good. But intriguing. I'm intrigued to hear what people think about the new lighter version of the Ultra Boost. And we're talking a good over 50 grams lighter. Like, it's significantly lighter than the previous model. Really interested to see if it brings it back to the running community, makes it more of a technical runner again, like it started out. In terms of fashion or you know, athleisure wear, it's going to be a hit. It can't but not be a hit. Everybody keeps talking about the demise of Boost, the demise of Ultra Boost. Ultra Boost is over. Never. This will become like the Chuck Taylor, the Jordan 1, or any other iconic shoe from an iconic brand that is so pervasive that it just becomes the house shoe of the brand, the norm, if you will. That's where this shoe is at. It can't miss. New colorways, slight adaptations, slight updates. Bang, you got another one. This one's going to be the Kayano for Asics. This one's going to be the Pegasus for Nike. Ultra Boost is not going anywhere, folks. It's just not. And so I'm glad they made it lighter. Sweet. So, yeah. Anything I missed, let me know. Ask me some questions down in the comments. I'll see if I can fill it in. I anticipate this one's going to be another hit. Could look good cageless. I'm not sure. I'm not going to take the cage off of this one. So there you have it. The Ultra Boost 23, aka the Ultra Boost Light. Let me know what you think of it. Appreciate you coming back through. Let's chat in the comments. Peace.